Okay, so earlier I talked about how when you multiply the magnitude of your vector b by cosine theta or cosine the angle, right? You get the magnitude of the b vector in the x direction. Well, that is only because you're referencing theta off of that x direction. You see what I'm saying? If we were to reference theta, or let's just say alpha, right? If I did alpha right here, if I did b or r cosine alpha, I wouldn't get x, I'd get y, right? And so the idea is the idea I'm going to show you here is like how to find angles between the vector and the axis in 3 dimension. Okay, so 3D, you would draw your axes. There's usually 2 ways to draw it. I'll draw it the way I believe the book does it, like this. This is your z. This is your y. This is your x. And so these are all at right angles. They're all orthogonal. Is the word. So you got a right angle, okay? Right. So just think of a corner of a cube or a corner of a rectangle. This is what it should look like. Obviously it doesn't because I'm a horrible drawer, but that's okay. Who cares? Let's see. So the idea is if you had a vector, flying out this way, who knows what it could be? It might be on the z-axis. It might on the z-plane or something. Let's just call it v. I'll just say v equals. It looks like we're going. Looks like we're going 0 in the y direction, 3, 0, and 3. Okay, that's what it looks like v. Okay. What we can do is let's say we wanted to find the angle between this vector v and the x-axis here. Let's say we also wanted to find the angle of the vector v off the y-axis, which is here. It's like that. And then also off the z-axis, which is here. Again, remember when we talk about cosine. Cosine gives you back the angle or the length from which your angle is being measured from or referenced from. So if you want to know the angle off of this, or x. Let's start with x. Here's what you do. You can say, the angle between the x-axis and this vector here is just theta equals, and you would go cosine inverse of the x component of your vector, we'll just say vx, over the magnitude of v, which is v. And then for the y direction, it's also cosine, but you just use the magnitude in the v component, in the y component, and in the z direction, again, still cosine, because that's the angle being referenced from, that's the angle you're trying to find off of that reference direction. V of z over v. Now, this is just good to know. I truthfully do not remember ever using this in this class. Okay, but the book had it, so might as well tell you. You do want to master understanding this. Understanding the notation, this I hat, j hat, and k hat notation. All right. You won't use 3-dimensional a lot, but you still need to know it. Okay. And then remember your Pythagorean theorem, always important. And understanding sine and cosine, when to use, what to use, is very critical, very, very critical in this class. All right. So if there are no questions, are there any questions, by the way? I didn't think so. Okay. If there are no questions, that's it. So go ahead and get a start on your homework if you can. Thank you, guys.